Something unique to Genoa are the Tralalero, a group of men who wander the streets, serenading the public. They sing in Genoese, songs about love, loss, and the hypnotic call of the sea. Caravaggio is
the man.
Matteo, tell me a little bit about the Tralalelo. We've seen you performing now in the piazza.
Yes.
And you're all stopping for some wine.
Tralalero, it's a polyphonical music, polyphonical chant.
So you're using your voices?
Yes, we use only our voices.
Yes.
And it's the traditional music of Genoa.
Of Genoa.
The Tralalero was born in the osteria, in the bar.
Okay.
So the women couldn't.
Of course, they went in the
Yes,
in the
they couldn't go to the bar.
to the osteria.
And so there is a man who plays this voice. It's the contralto.
falsetto.
Yes, the falsetto voice.
Explain a little bit about how this group of gentlemen met, because you're all different ages, and it's wonderful to see that young people are still attracted to this type of troupe.
I'm the last.
The last one to join?
Sandro, he is a founder of the squadra, of the group. I am 23 years old.
And how old is the eldest member?
Lui è il vecchio, no? Il più vecchio è Sandro.
Sì.
Quanti anni ha?
Quanti anni hai? 72. 72.
72.
Dove sono te befiani, lascianca che rapodega.
Dove sono e crese
And is this stopping for a quick glass of wine an essential part of your journey?
Sì. It's essential because we use almost the voice, only the voice, because it's a song, no? Because and now we need to
of
drink.
course, your voice is your instrument, and
Yes.
you need to look after it
Yes.
with a glass of red wine.
Yes. Cin cin, salute.
Chin chin, salute. It's wonderful to see a group of men singing with such passion and dedicated to keeping the old traditions alive. And you know something, it doesn't matter that I don't understand the lyrics, that I don't understand the words they're singing, because the tones and the sounds they are producing with their voices are melodic and they're haunting. And it serves as a reminder that the most beautiful and powerful instrument of all is our voice. I'm going to try and order in Italian. Let's see if I get what I actually want, which is the sima, which we all know that we have in Gib. See what it tastes like here.
Buonasera.
Buonasera, ciao.
Cosa posso servirle?
Vorrei della cima e un bicchiere di vino rosso.
Perfetto, arrivo subito.
Grazie. Well, he seems to have understood. We'll see what I get. I was walking around the streets and I caught a glimpse of this osteria. And I couldn't help but come in because it was established in 1528. That's absolutely ancient, isn't it? And they specialize in local Genovese cuisine. And one of the things that they had on the menu is the cima, which is the sima, which admittedly I haven't had in years, but it's something that my grannies always used to make, and from what I recall was absolutely delicious, and seems to be one of the recipes that in Gibraltar we've maintained.
Prego, qui abbiamo il nostro vino della casa.
Vino della casa, grazie.
Prego, questa è la nostra cima alla genovese.
Grazie.
Buon appetito.
Thank you. Wow, that looks good. With a Genovese salad and the sima with all the stuffing. I'm going to tuck in. It's incredibly tasty. Now, from what I've seen, it's not actually that common on the menus here because it takes so long to cook and it's so difficult. I mean, a lot of people back home will know, you've got the joint of meat and you've got to pack it into this, create a bag so all the stuffing's inside and make sure it doesn't rupture and doesn't burst. And here it's a really slow cook. They cook it for about 4 or 5 hours. Well worth it though.
Genoa's port is massive, and located in the Porto Antico, its oldest section, is the Maritime Museum.
Welcome on board. Please.
Thank you.
Madam?
So we're boarding a steamship.
Yes.
And this steamship is a replica of the type of ship that was used when they traveled to America.
Yes.
In 1891, one such steamship, the Utopia, was making its way to Buenos Aires. There were 900 Genoese families on board. A major storm broke out, and the captain used the opportunity to stop and refuel. They berthed in Gibraltar. During the night, the conditions worsened, and the Utopia was dragged from its moorings. The waves sent it crashing into a British battleship. This caused massive destruction, and within minutes, the lower decks of the ship were flooded with water. In the dark of the night, the Italian families were helpless, and 500 men, women, and children lost their lives.
Immigration and migration of the Genovese has played an important, a vital part, I think, in shaping your history and the people that you are, and inevitably the people that we are in Gibraltar, the people we've become. If we could concentrate a little bit on the migration of the Genovese in the late 1700s, early 1800s, because that's when a lot of them came to Gibraltar. Why would they have been migrating during that time?
The first Genoese people who decided to move, to migrate, were the ones that were closer to the sea. So merchants, fishermen, and sailors. After that, a new wave of migration took place with people coming from the surrounding, the mountains in the surroundings of Genoa. And Gibraltar was an important point, step towards a bigger migration.
So a lot of the Genovese just used Gibraltar as a stop-off point as they headed off to Argentina, to Buenos Aires or New York. but for many they made it their home. And there were two different types of, from what you've explained, of Genoese migrant. So you had the wealthy merchants who would have come to Gibraltar and made the most of the British relations and contacts and set up their businesses and export, import ship chandlers. But then you also, from what you said, had the poorer strata of society who would have come there and set up, a lot of the Genoese that we know from what we know of today will set up this fishing village. And they would have worked in the trades that they had learnt from home. So that would explain a lot of the fishermen that moved to Gibraltar.
This is a new session
Yes.
opened yesterday.
So here we can see the timeline
Yes.
of modern day immigration.
Yes. Because we are a port, and the port in Italian is also the significant of a door. This is a door from the exterior, is a door from the indoor, the internal part of Italy. So it's a place of passage from immigrants and immigrants.
If you look at it,
Oh,
it's exactly
wonderful! But this to me looks like the upper town in
See?
Gibraltar. The same colors, these colors, you get the shutters, we have the Genoese shutters. But I have to admit, Genova is prettier. The old town in Genova is beautiful and is well kept. Unfortunately, in Gibraltar, it's not the same. But it's very, very similar.
The port stretches over 22 kilometers along the coastline and is the busiest in Italy. Guarding it is the Lanterna, a 76-meter high lighthouse that is soon to celebrate its 890th birthday. It is a mighty and arrogant symbol of power, strength, and supremacy. The Staglieno Cemetery is truly breathtaking. As you walk around these splendid parklands, you immerse yourself in a still and peaceful world that has remained unchanged for over 200 years. And it is here where our ancestral links are most evident. I was surrounded by familiar names, close to 60. Nothing had prepared me for this. It was humbling and awe-inspiring to realize that I was walking amongst my ancestors.
I feel like I'm in a museum.
Yes,
I'm surrounded by works of art. The engraving, the marble, the angels.
It's
really stunning.
Open air museum.
It's an open air museum, isn't it? Marco, it's mainly my father's ancestors that seem to come from Genoa. I traced my mother's a few years ago and they originate mainly from Malta. But it's my father's side, the Ganesa strain and the Latin strain. My father's mother was called my granny, Laudi Ganesa. And I've spoken to the Ganesas, to cousins of mine, and they've done a bit of research. And the Ganesas seem to originate from Rapallo. But with the Latins, I actually have a lot more information. The Latin was my grandfather, Ernesto Latin. My father is called Ernest as well. Everybody calls him Tito. And here what I was saying, that they were married here in Mobino. And they're both born in Venice.
But, yes.
Here it's different. He's saying they're both born in Mobino, Venice. And then here born in Laguna. And then the first one in 1809 born in Gibraltar. And that's where we lose the O, the Latino. And from then we have the entire Latin family in Gibraltar are all related and are all direct descendants from Bartolomeo Latin and Bartolomé Latino.
Yes, it seems that your ancestor went to Gibraltar when Venice became part of Austria.
This is actually the church records, and here we have the Latin family crest.
Yes.
Is it something perhaps you've seen before?
It has 9 pills, so contact.
Really?
Yes.
Because there's nine
The-
sort of like peaks
Yes.
on the. That
yes,
is very
this
interesting.
is the crown of count.
So you're telling me my father could be a conte?
Yes.
I think he's gonna love that. Okay. So with this, do you have enough to be able to help me and do some more research?
yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
So-
I look forward to discovering more.
Mr. Panizza has promised me a cookery class on Genoa's most famous export.
Pesto in Genova born with pasta, only with pasta. And
Only-
Genoese
okay.
people use normally only with pasta. Pesto is now a global sauce. No? It's used in all the world. All the world use and know pesto, and this diffusion have generated a lot of use for about pesto. Garlic
Yes.
and pineapples.
Okay.
So we can begin. Now, basil.
A lot of basil.
Yes.
Wow, the smells emanating from this pestle and mortar are incredible.
Ecco qui. And now. Parmigiano.
You can't go wrong really with a dish that includes copious amounts of cheese, olive oil and garlic, can you? It was always going to be a winning formula. I can smell that oil instantly. Wow, I wouldn't have expected that. Instant.
You want to try?
I would love to try.
Try.
Thank you. I'm not going to mess up your pesto. I know that
No,
you
no, no,
are
I
the
control.
king of pesto. You
No, it's
control. I
not
wouldn't want to
possible.
ruin your pesto. Okay, so I'm just in circular motions,
When you want.
like this.
Yes.
The smell is incredible. But yeah, this is the gymnastics of the kitchen.
You can begin tomorrow.
I can come in and start tomorrow. Okay. It's right?
We have our pesto.
Okay. It's very generous of you saying our pesto when I've only done about 10 seconds of it. I love the color. Even your bread looks good, I have to say. Yeah. That's proper homemade bread. Wow.
There you go.
Grazie. Wow.
That's right.
That is amazing pesto. The pesto I've tried, I have to admit, I can understand why you're the king of pesto. It's never tasted like this. This is a whole different experience. Where does the smoky flavor come from?
From the cheese.
Oh, yes. I can smell the fish, the cheese.
Yes.
It's a cacophony
Meat,
of sound and
yes,
smell.
yes,
It's
yes,
wonderful.
It's a very, very traditional place and is one of the bigger market in Genova, the bigger market in Genova.
It's wonderful to see that here in Genoa you're so proud of the traditional methods, your traditional recipes, and of your
Yes.
local ingredients. That so many of them are protected.
In Genova we have local ingredients, but Genova traditionally is a center of commerce from the old Mediterranean Sea.
Yes.
And in our recipe we have a contamination from all Mediterranean, no? Also pesto, because we use cheese from Sardinia, we use cheese from the interior of
Italy.
But we have also chickpeas flour, farinata and panissa. Chickpeas flour is coming from Middle Orient. In
Mushroom
the season of mushrooms, and we go to eat fresh or you can ride at home also to use in the winter.
Right, okay.
And some piece of mushrooms are used in big number of recipe of traditional recipe in the Genoese cooking. I love also ravioli, ravioli al tucu. This sauce who cook a lot of time. A piece of meat are cooked in tomato. I love all dishes. I love
The Genoese passion for food epitomizes their attitude towards life. They revel in simplicity, the basics, with which they create masterpieces.
So this is pan dolce.
Pan dolce. Genoese pan dolce. As panettone is Milanese. It's different.
In Gibraltar,
Yes, yes.
the pan dolce is hard, and we have the candied fruits.
Yes.
And people either add anise.
This is the true one.
Or brandy.
This is
or rum.
created in 1945.
Okay.
It's modern.
It's new.
It's more quickly to prepare. This is like bread. Must prepare 2 days before.
You can smell the anise.
Yes.
My granny, Canessa, from Genova, makes this, or used to make this pan dulce for Christmas, and she always made it with anise. But the texture was still quite different. It was a lot more biscuity, crumbly. This is, even though it's strong, it's cakey, it's bread. Wow. Very different.
This is soft. This is strong.
This is more like what we would call a panettone. It's more that texture. But it's also got the candied fruit.
My grandfather prepared 100 years ago.
Very different.
We are 4 generations in the family.
Of this recipe. If I had to choose the one that I like,
Yes.
I prefer this one.
You prefer?
Yeah.
Yes. But foreign likes this one.
The foreigners, yeah.
This is simplest.
Yes.
A simpler one.
Yeah.
And taste, less taste and more taste.
Yes.
When I send my friends, not in Italy, I send always this one.
I would have to concur. I, the foreigner, prefer this one. The complexity of flavors, it's a lot stronger. The texture, there's more bite to it, it's crumblier. Perhaps it's just what I'm used to and it reminds me of my Granny Laudy. I don't know. Perhaps it's comfort food to me. We've always had this at Christmas, and the smell of pan dulce, the flavor of pan dulce is always associated with love and laughter and good times. Perfetto.
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 Grazie.
Davide has promised me a very special tour on the back of his Vespa. Without a doubt, this is the best way to travel around Genoa.
He's the one who needs the night for worry and interpretation. He's a genius of the wrong kind.
The traffic is insane, but as we weave through the cars, my spirits are lifted. This city is exciting and full of promise.
You don't know him, but you know he's right.
Piazza del Banchi.
Piazza dei Banchi.
Because Genova fue el Banco de Sevilla. Por eso molto dinero en Genova. El Banco de Sevilla.
El primero banco.
Banco de Europa. Fue en
aquí.
Genova. The street
This
is narrow.
È stretto. riempivano.
Ah, Piazza dell'Amor Perfetto. Is a plan to bring me here.
As the sun sets, the atmosphere changes. People shed the stresses of the day and commit fully to Italy's favorite pastime, the art of pleasure seeking.
Entonces, ahora en Piazza Lavagna no es hora de cappuccino.
No.
No, es hora de una birra italiana o un vino de Genova.
Vino di Genova anche, sì, volendo, sì. Anche.
O una birra.
Oh, una birra, sì.
Moretti.
Moretti, sì. Una birra italiana.
Una birra italiana.
Perché la birra di Genova non effettivamente non c'ha. Proviamo questo, cosa dite?
Ok.
Ci mettiamo là
Sì.
sotto.
Ah, the table there.
Sì, se fosse libero. Siciliana? Vabbè, Estrella la
No,
conosciamo.
spagnola no.
Spagnola no.
Belgica.
Niente.
No, tiene que ser italiana.
Allora italiano ci sono solo quelli. Stella, no, triple.
Belgico, no.
No, basta, non ce n'è altro.
Moretti la Toscana. Miel. Intenso color Italia. Venga.
Sì.
Moretti la Toscana.
Ti piace? Sì?
No sé.
Per
sé.
Per te
Quiero
sì.
una birra.
Per te sì. Va
Muchas
bene.
decisiones.
No, io prendo birra chiara normale.
Venga, dos
Moretti.
birra normale.
Sì,
Ok.
normale.
Genoa continues to enthrall. She enslaves me, demanding complete devotion.